Lewis.
Hi, how are you? This is Louis Grasso from WNRHU New York. When the media talks about this game, they focus a lot on how dangerous the Rams D line is and how dangerous the defense is in general. And as a second year player now finding yourself facing this defense head on in the Super Bowl, how do you prepare yourself ahead of Sunday for this tough matchup?
We understand that they're really talented up front. They're disruptive, and so we have to game plan for that. And we have to play really well. We have to play at a high level up front. So it's no different than any other week. We've played a lot of great D lines this year, and this week's not going to be any different.
South Florida.
Hi, Jonah. Reiterating that question, I don't think that there's probably a better tandem in the league than you have with an Aaron Donald as well as a Von Miller. When you look at those veterans, where do you compare some of these guys with some of the ones that you face? I know you obviously, your quarterback's been sacked a lot, 51 times a lot during the postseason, but is there any particular approach that you guys are going to try to do a little different than some of the other teams? Congratulations getting here, by the way.
Like you said, they're two of the better, more talented players in the NFL on the defensive side. It's on us really. There's a onus on us to be really good and to play really well, play with good technique. All the stuff that we've been drilling now. I mean, week 24 or whatever this is of the year. We've been practicing hard. We've been practicing a lot, and we're going to be prepared and we're going to be ready to block them. We know that they're great, and we're going to be ready to go play.
Soren.
Hi, Jonah. There's been a lot of talk about Joe Burrow and how he dresses. I mean, the turtleneck and his glasses before the Chiefs game. Is there something to it also in terms of his leadership, or is this just for fun and games?
I don't read into his outfits too much, but I think that it kind of shows how confident he is, how he carries himself, and importantly, that's how he carries himself on the field. That's how he commands a huddle and he commands the offense. I appreciate his swagger off the field, but his swagger on the field is a little bit more important to me.
Isabella Fernandez.
Hi, Jonah. Congrats on the Super Bowl. In your 3 seasons with Alabama, you never missed a game. But last year, you suffered an injury that took you out for most of the season. What was the most important thing that you learned at that time when you couldn't do what you love and now being in the Super Bowl?
You were breaking up a little bit, but I think that I think mentally. Knowing how much I hate being on the sideline, it makes me appreciate, playing this full season so much more. It's been a magical season, and it's really important to me that we finish this the right way. But I think I do have a greater appreciation because I have missed time early in my career, and that really sucks. So I have a lot of appreciation for the position that I'm in.
Jeff Hobson.
Jonah, I'm sorry if this has been asked to you, but I'm wondering what's the best advice and who gave it to you about facing these guys, these edge guys? What's the best advice? Who gave it to you?
It's hard to say in terms of advice. I think just coaching. Coach Pollock's been in this league a long time, and he has good ideas on how to block guys, how to prepare for them. But like I said before, I think that this is we're playing great edge rushers, we're playing a great D tackle, but it's important to approach this like every other team, and when you prepare, you don't want to change things up, do things differently. There's a system, and it's all about just executing. So that's kind of the way that we're approaching this.
Gonzalo, no huddle.
Jonah here, Gonzalo Fabri from Huddle in Argentina. My question is, you at your career in Alabama had this kind of big games through I want to ask you which aspect of your preparation did you took from that stage and that you could apply to your professional career?
I think one thing that we did really well at Alabama, especially leading up to a big game like this, was just blocking out all distractions. Keeping our focus really narrow and keeping it just on the game. Not getting caught up in the hype of all of this. It's obviously a big stage, big game, exciting environment, but it's football. And we have to go out there and execute for 70, 80 plays, however many plays it is. That's what's important, is going out and executing that. And, we did a good job at Alabama blocking out distractions and just focusing, and we need to do that again now.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Tyler Ingram.
Hey, Jonah. Tyler Ingram with Sideline Sports. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Jonah, you played in the national championship every season during your Alabama career. Can you describe the feeling of playing in your first Super Bowl in just your second season in the NFL?
Third season, but yeah.
Third season, sorry. My apologies.
It's very exciting. It's what you work for all off season, when we're training on our own, then we get together and do OTAs, training camp. All the hard work that goes into this season is for this game, for this opportunity. And, that's a position that we've put ourselves in with our hard work and execution. And so we have to finish it that same way. And, coming away with a win would be massive for this team and this organization. And that's where all of our focus is on.
Thank you, Jonah. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
James Tatum.
Hey, Jonah, congrats on making it to the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
My question for you is, having that experience at Alabama, like you were just talking about, you and Joe have played in a lot of big games in your young careers. So for the guys on the team that don't necessarily have the same big game experience as you guys are fortunate enough to have, how have you guys been able to help your other teammates that are kind of lacking that big game experience?
I think I can only speak for myself on that, but I think Joe kind of has a similar style of leadership, but I think that approaching this game fearlessly, not changing my demeanor, not changing the way that I act, I think exuding confidence to everyone in the room is going to be critical, because it is going to be a big game. It's a big stage, a lot of eyes on us, but you can't sit here and think about that and get nervous. You just have to trust yourself, trust your preparation, and just go out there confidently and play football.
Absolutely, man. Congrats and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Hassan Khan.
Hey, Jonah, a question I had for you. I think you rebounded really well from your early struggles as far as the injuries went. That kind of dampering, your first year and your second year to where you are being a key line. Would you have any sort of words of wisdom for those young guys, whether it be dealing with injuries early on in their career or just not really performing well early on in their career and then really rebounding to their year 3, year 4 and being a key for their team?
Yeah, I think just plugging away, just continuing to approach every day with that same intensity and that same commitment. I think that just consistency is huge in this league. That's one of the most important traits you can have, is just being consistent. So if you need to be riding on emotional highs and lows and, trying to hype yourself up or something like that, you're just not going to be successful in this league. Just continuing to show up every day with a positive attitude, working, and just, staying focused on long-term goals, which is to be a great franchise left tackle for a Super Bowl organization. That's what I've had my eyes on this whole time. That's what I've been working towards. We're fortunate to be in a position to go try to capture that this weekend.
Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ben, New York Times.
Hi, Jonah. I was wondering how you would define the concept of cool and where your quarterback fits into that.
I think my concept of cool is probably similar with Joe's, and that just not worrying too much about what other people think, and just living life the way that you feel is appropriate. I think Joe does a really good job of that. He's had a lot of success with that attitude, and everyone off the field sees him as cool, and everyone on the team just sees him as a confident leader. Somebody that we could rally around. So I think, Joe definitely embodies my definition of cool.
Is there anything you think, Jonah, about his personality that enables him to go ahead and reach players from different backgrounds, different experiences? You guys all come from different walks of life, that he seems to be able to go ahead and command that room and have you guys all trust and believe in him?
Yeah, I think that just starts with trusting and believing in yourself. Because we'll see right through it if you don't. If it's all talk and there's not that confidence behind it, then it's not going to be very moving. But we know he's legitimately that confident. He believes he can go out there and play at such a high level, and he does every week. And we have a lot of guys in the locker room that feel that way. It's all about trusting yourself, trusting your preparation. And this is the part of the season where you're going to let it fly. The rest of the year, off season, that's when you're working to try to get here. And so now the work's done. You gotta just cut it loose and play football. And that's what we're going to do this weekend.
Henrique, Pro Football.
Hi, Jonah. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I'm Henrique Budi for Pro Football Brazil. You guys have a major fan base over here. I wanted to ask you about dealing with pressure. You're still a young player, but you've played in a lot of national championships. Now you're a Super Bowl starter, and you're facing guys like Leonard Floyd, Von Miller. It's not a direct matchup, but there's also Aaron Donald for the inside. How do you deal with those challenges being so young?
Like I said just a moment ago, I think relying on your preparation. This is why we work so hard. This is why I work so hard all year, is so when I get in this position, I don't have to rise to the occasion. I just have to, count on my preparation, rely on my preparation to allow me to play well against, some phenomenal players on the biggest stage. I think if I go into the game trying to, hype myself up or do something differently, I'm not going to be as successful as if I just trust the work and trust, what goes on off camera and, go play.
Gene Thompson. Jay Skursky.
Hi, Jonah. This is Jay with the Buffalo News. I covered Quentin Spain when he was with the Bills, and he seemed to be a guy that kept the locker room loose and was pretty fun to be around. What have your impressions have been of him as a teammate, and is he still that kind of guy?
Yeah, he's definitely that kind of guy. He likes to have fun. He likes to chop it up with the guys. He's a great guy to have in the O-line room, but he's also someone who, we'll be having fun, we'll be joking around, but when it comes down to the game, when it comes down to, really playing, he's a guy I know I can trust, a guy that, is going to play at a high level every week and who I can rely on. Playing your line mate is really important, and playing against good D-lines, you have to trust a guy next to you. And I always feel like I can do that with Q. He's been a great teammate this year, and, hope to go win it for him.
Thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Neil Reynolds.
Hi, Joe. It's Neil Reynolds from Sky Sports in the UK.
Hey.
I wonder if you could tell me how Joe Burrow reacts when he's sacked. Is he unflappable? Does he just get on with the job the next play? Obviously, you offensive linemen, you take great pride in protecting him, but what's he like when he does get dropped in big situations?
He's the same Joe that he always is. I think that everyone on the team, everyone on offense understands that, executing protections, executing plays is a group effort, and there's not really time in the game to, try to point blame or point fingers or anything like that. It's just, all right, now it's the next down. We got to make a play, we got to go win this game. And so Joe and everyone on the team carries themselves in that way. The important thing is winning games.
Rob?
Oh, hi. Thank you for taking my question. Yes, the Bengals have had a team record of giving up 55 sacks this regular season. Has the clean slate you mentioned before have been working in the playoffs? The QBs and the wide receivers and running backs have still been having good games with yards in the playoffs. Will the offensive line still manage to hold off sacks from Aaron and Vaughn in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's our plan. That's our goal. That's what we do as an O-line, as an offense, is going out and winning games. And right now, this 2021 Bengals team is 3-0 in the playoffs, and we're looking to go 4-0 this weekend.
Jack Smith?
Hey, Jonah, I know a lot is being made of the matchup in pass protection versus this Rams defensive line, but when you watch the Super Bowl, normally it comes down a lot to being able to run the ball early, and have success on the ground when you need 3 or 4 yards. So I'm wondering what your perspective is on that, with most people focusing on the pass. How important do you think it is for you guys to establish the run?
It's extremely important, and that's a big part, like you said, of us winning, and us winning the game, which is really the point of what we're doing here. Is controlling the ball, controlling the sticks, and scoring more points than they do. And to do that, we have to be good on the ground. We have a great back. We have receivers that block downfield, and we have an O-line that can open up holes for them. So that's what we have to do this weekend.
Thank you. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Julian?
Hey, Jonah, congrats on making the Super Bowl. I think they just hit on something I was going to ask, but I will ask you, without Aaron Donald in that front, what's your biggest mindset in making sure that you guys are on top of everything, giving Burrow enough time so we can make plays and attack that Rams secondary, which is going to be vulnerable at times?
We need to execute our pass protections. We need to execute our run game. And it takes all 11 on offense to do that. And, we're working hard this week. We've been working hard all year. And this is the time that we really have to play our best game and, put us in a position to win.
Looks like we ran through all the questions, but if you don't mind just hanging out for a couple more minutes to see if anyone else pops over.
Okay.
Thanks. John, Sports View America.
Hey, John, congratulations. Normally you talk about offensive linemen. They're probably the smartest people on the team. How has this group been able to kind of learn and adapt? And is 2 weeks too short of a time to really get into schemes and to learn different things at this particular point?
Oh, I think, this deep into the season, for the most part, our playbook has been installed since camp, and we're always making adjustments and those things. But I think the 2 weeks is a good amount of time to be prepared to go against their scheme and their defense. And, I think we have a good game plan, and, we have a good understanding of it up front, and know that it's going to be critical for us to execute it to win this weekend. And so that's what we're going to do.
Bobby Thompson.
Hey, Jonah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, thanks for asking. My question for you, I've been bouncing around, is how hard do you think it's going to be to go up against these pass rushers of the Rams?
They're extremely talented players, and they've, caused a lot of havoc and had a lot of success in their careers. So, it's going to be a big challenge for me and for everyone up front. But, that's our job. That's what we're preparing to do. And, I have confidence in myself and everyone up front to do their job on Sunday.
Thank you so much, and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Scott, South Florida.
Jonah, I want to ask you a little bit about Joe Mixon. Obviously he's a fine running back, but more importantly, I like his hands and his ability to go out there and make plays. Do you think he's one of the more underrated playmakers that you have, knowing that your wide receivers certainly get a lot of the touches, but nobody should really underestimate the contributions of Joe Mixon?
Yeah, definitely. I think, Mixon's a phenomenal player. And he's a guy that works really well with his O-line. He has a good understanding of when and how to hit the different seams and holes that we're trying to open up. And, I think that's kind of shown by how many yards and touchdowns and everything he has this year. We know he's a phenomenal back, and when you have receivers like we have and a quarterback like we have, and people have to be able to defend them, having a running back like Joe come in and cause havoc in the middle is critical to your offense.
Yeah, I mean, let's face the reality. It's one thing to have a guy that strictly can run the ball, but he seems to be pretty multidimensional. And when you have a guy like him who's so multidimensional, it gives your quarterback a lot more options, hopefully to avoid some of those sacks as well, take a little pressure off you offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that makes things up in your life a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think, in general, having playmakers makes everyone's lives easier, because we're making more plays, you're moving down the field, we're scoring more points and winning more games.
Thank you.